So there's not really much left to sort out here. So one of the things we're going to do is basically have this function display the answers rather than having this particular function display it. So I'm just going to take this quiz.value, just take the whole of that line out actually and just bring it back to here, and then we'll just make some changes to it. Control V, and so this is not going to say well done, this is basically going to say the name of the variable that we've got right at the top, which is text to display, that one there, because text to display is going to be built up, can't remember if I've got a capital D, no, small d. Text to display is going to be built up using the function over here. So now the next thing we want to do is just make some changes to this particular function, because we need to work out what we do if the correct answer is selected but it's not the right value. So I'm just going to take the braces out from this particular if for the correct one, because I need to put an if statement in. So if it's correct, then basically what I want to be able to say is that text to display equals whatever text to display has got in it, because remember this is going to go through all of the questions that we've got, so whatever already exists in text to display plus, okay, so we're going to add this other text to it, which is you got that correct, and close that, and we need a semicolon to finish off that statement, otherwise we've got an else. Okay, otherwise else, this is what's going to happen with text to display. So this is the fiddliest bit really. Text to display is going to equal whatever is already in text to display, so because we're building up this plus, and this is just slightly weird, right, but the syntax we're going to use is go to answers, right, go to this array over here, but to get what you want from answers you need to use the whatever question you've been sent. So questions array, so where's my questions array? So there's my questions array here. So go to the questions array and then dot index of. So it's basically doing the reverse of what we normally do, which is what we normally do is just say go to that array, but index of is saying, you know, find me the number that corresponds to S, which is the question that you know, we've been sent. So and then what else have I got? I've got to close that bracket, and then I've got to end it with a semicolon, and then that looks as if it's going to work. And then once it's done all of those, then obviously I want it to break out of the loop, because there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just going to take these lines out. I mean, it doesn't matter actually, the blank lines just get ignored. So this syntax is basically saying that here, this is saying if I'm looking at Q1, so looking at Q1, what I need to do then is to go to the answer for Q1. So if I'm going through all of the buttons, for, the radio buttons for Q1, then I need to basically take the index of this array. So I need to find this number 0, and then I have to go to answers and find answers 0. So that's basically what that syntax is saying. And if I'm on question 2 and the answer is incorrect, then I need to display the answer. Then index 2 will say, for question 2, the index is 1, so I go to answers 1 and I'll find the answer there. So that's all that is saying, and that's the fiddliest bit. And then so text to display is being built up here, and then the answer is going to be displayed. So all of our checking is happening in this function here, check all. So we need to make the change to our radio button in our HTML file. So in the submit button, it's not check QS, it's basically just check all. So let's make that change and then see whether that works. So save the HTML file, save the JavaScript file. I've no idea whether it's going to or not, but you know, we'll have a go. Refresh, make some changes to the options, submit. So submitting, nothing happens, and so I'm going to use F12, the developer tag, to have a look at what's going on here. And it's given me some errors saying that on line 23, which I think is the index of actually. So if I scroll down to line 23, so I've got IE9 and scroll along, and yeah, it is giving an error on that line. So one of the things I'm going to do is, under the document mode, it's got quirks, so I'm going to say change that to Internet Explorer 9 standards, and then go back to my page, reload that, so F5 to refresh it or reload it, and try again, see what happens, and submit. Oh right, that's good. So it's got, I got all of the answers incorrect, so it's given me the answers here. There's just a couple of things that we're going to change so that these all appear on a separate line. So I'm going to show that in a minute, but I'm just going to make sure that if I select a correct one and then the rest is incorrect, that still works. So just, yeah, it says you got that correct, which is good, although I've spelt that wrong. So in the next video I'll just show you how to move these on a separate line, and talk a little bit about what that array is and the functions that apply to it.